Hi everyone, and it's been a while since I've actually done a live, but it's so good to be here with you all. Today we are actually going to be setting up to burn some fig leaves because I do have some pastille to make. So these are my fig leaves here that I am going to burn. I already stripped them from the stem, so now it's time to get ready to burn them. So just bear with me 1 second and I'll be with you all. Hold on, we are getting into it. 1 second. So I do have my leaf on the stove here, and I'm just gonna set up to get it burned. All right, just give me a second, guys. And for me, I don't only make pastille during December month. If I feel for it, and I also get meat very reasonable, I do tend to make it whenever I feel to eat it. And this is just gonna be one of those times that I am making pastille at the beginning of the year to eat and have a time. Now, one of the most important things is when you're making pastille, I tend to use the banana leaves, and the reason for that is it also gives so much flavor to your pastille. It adds that additional flavor to your pastille, and I tend to double seal my own just to make sure that it is fully secured. So when I wrap my pastille in my banana leaves, I do double wrap it with some foil as well. Alright, I still have to clean my stove, but I didn't do that because sometimes the banana leaves tend to let off a milky sort of substance and it drips on the stove, so that is what we're doing. So how have you all been? Have you all been taking in some of the other lives that I did post? What are some of the things that you all enjoy? What type of content you all like? So that I could sort of work on doing much more of that type of content throughout my page. So I did low down the stove a bit because it is a lot of heat here with burning these leaves, and I have quite a bit of leaves to burn. And I tend to typically strip my leaves from the stem instead of just burning the stem entirely instead of burning the leaves entirely on the stem. On the stove, it's much easier for me to manage, and also by burning it this way, what it tends to do in terms of helping me is it's already in a shape to just wrap my pastille leaves. So I tend to do this method, which makes it much more easier and much faster for me to prep. I do have a lot of leaves, so chances are I am gonna have extra fig leaf where I would be able to store them in the freezer if I don't use all. So that is another preservation technique that I use. If I don't use all of my banana leaves when making pastelle, depending on the amount that I'm making, I tend to store the balance of the leaves in the freezer or in the deep freeze. However, I'm not making the pastelle today. Today I'm just burning the leaves. Over the weekend, most I will be making the pastelle, so y'all could tune in. I will go live with that one also, so y'all could spend the day with me while I make pastelle. More than likely it should be Sunday I would be making the pastelle, but I don't usually like to burn my leaves the same day I'm making the pastelle, because what tends to happen is that with me being pregnant at the moment, it does get a bit overwhelming for me. So I tend to just try to do what I can do to manage my energy levels, because still I am a wife and I am a mother, so I do have to tend to the rest of the family, and you really cannot do that if you are completely burnt out. So for me, I just know myself and know what I could work with, and that is what I am gonna be working with. I'm working with myself, and today I can burn the leaves for my pastelle. Another day, probably sometime later, what I will also do is I will also strip my or pre-cut my foil, because like I mentioned earlier, I do use foil and my fig leaves when I am wrapping my pastelle. And one of the reasons why you burn your leaves beforehand is because, I'll show you an example. When it's time to wrap your pastelle, if the leaves aren't burnt, the leaves can break because they aren't able to bend and fold how you like it. However, once the leaves are burned, it tends to get softer, and it allows you to have that flexibility to bend and just be able to work with the leaves as you see fit. So I would say burning the leaves are an essential part of the pastelle making process. So I do take my time to really make pastelle. I love pastelle, and I make pastelle with a lot of love. However, at the moment I only do beef or chicken pastelle. I do not consume pork, so I do not make any type of dishes or meals that contain pork, right? So how are you all doing? You all can hit me up in the chat below. Ask me anything you all like. Let's interact. What are for those of you all who are tuned in, what are some of the favorite recipes that I do have on my page that y'all are interested in, y'all want to see more of? I do have a lot of different type of content coming, some of which would also be pregnancy or motherhood, more motherhood content as well, that would be included on my page. My journey of becoming a mother of 3, because I already have 2 beautiful children. So let me know what type of content you all are interested in, and how much more of me do you all want to see on my page, because I do give you all the unfiltered part of my life, how I eat, what I prepare for my family, how I prepare the things, and simply what I could work with as an individual, right? Especially with being pregnant. I am almost 7 months pregnant, so I do have my up and down days where I'm extremely exhausted and cannot do anything at all, and then there are days where I feel great. And then there are days where I feel awesome and I could take on a ton of projects. Right? So, you know. Hi Max Michael, it's good to see you tuned in. Y'all could hit me up in the live chat. Let me know who's tuned in. Let me shout you all. It's so nice to have you all here with me. Evelyn, hi, hello, how are you? Are you new to my page? What type of content do you enjoy seeing on my page? Where are you from? For those of you who don't know, I am from Trinidad. I am from the Caribbean. I do share a lot of Caribbean style food. I do share a lot of Caribbean type recipes. I share my family life with you all, bits and pieces of my family life. How are you all doing? It's really nice. I love interacting with you all, but sometimes with me being pregnant, I do get a bit tired and you all may not see me for a few days, but have no fear, I'm still here. I am definitely still here with you all. You can also feel free to check out my other social media pages where you all can interact with me. YouTube is my main platform where I post a lot of my tutorials and a lot of my content, but you all can also check out bits and pieces of my life that I share on Instagram and TikTok as well, under the same name that you all are seeing here on YouTube. The only difference is with IG, it's Shari's Ogie's Mom Diaries, and the reason I named it that is because, listen, I share a lot of my life as a mother and how I choose to bring about my children and how some of the activities we do and just some of the memorable times that we do have. If you all do happen to hear me go quiet, it's because I'm a bit out of breath. So here I have a much bigger leaf, and you can see that the leaves are burning there and it's becoming softer where the heat is getting on to soften the leaf. I am doing this with my bare hand. It is a lot of heat, but I've grown accustomed to it, so it really doesn't bother me that much. All right. So this is what we're currently working with. And as you could see, the lighter part is where the leaf still had to burn, and that is an indication for me as to, it helps guide me as to where I still need to burn. And I tend to burn it on the, I would say, the wrong side of the leaf, so that I could see when it's actually turning the light green color. And this is how I know my leaves and the heat is touching my leaves, and my leaves are actually getting softer without actually me putting my hand in the fire, if that makes sense. I do have to cut bits and pieces off of this leaf. Some of them are stripped, but I do tend to put it together to make it work, right? Y'all are gonna hear my children in the background as well, because they are home with me as well. Right. Now bear in mind, you should also wipe off your leaf before You should also wipe your leaf before putting the pastel or your dough on the leaves. I tend to wipe them off immediately before putting the pastel dough balls on it. And you can do that with just a bit of water. You don't have to add soap or anything. It is to remove any debris that you may have still on your leaf. So today we're just, as I said previously, for those of you who now tuned in, I am burning banana leaves or fig leaves, as we would say in the Caribbean, for pastel that I am going to make over the weekend. And I just decided to touch base with some of you all to see how you all are doing and just interact with you all a bit, for you all to keep me company while I burn these leaves. So y'all can hit me up, let me know where y'all are from. I like to have an idea of where my subscribers are from. What are some of the things that y'all do there in your country or in your island that you're from. I just like to get personal and get sort of build a nice community with my subscribers. All right. So this one would probably be able to cut in half, and I would be able to fold 2 pastels with this leaf. It is a bit long. Some of them I did not actually cut them in the size that I need as yet. It's much easier for me to see as I'm burning along here. And this is a very quick process. Once you could take the heat, it's really quick. As I mentioned, I love pastels, so whenever I get a chance to make pastel, especially if I get meat, the minced beef or the minced chicken on sale, very reasonable, I tend to grab and go for it immediately, and I buy it in bulk. And the cornmeal flour is very reasonable as well, so it's more or less me just getting access to leaf. And praise the Most High, I got, my friend has some fig trees in the back by him, and my husband and I, we went to collect some. So I was really blessed to get the amount of leaves that I do have. Obviously, I'm not going to use all of the leaves that I have in one sitting. I'm probably going to do about approximately 4 dozen pastels. And I have way more than enough meat and also leaves. So we'll see how that goes. We'll definitely see how that goes. And I know some people also use fig leaves to do steamed fish and to cook other type of meals. However, I just use them for pastel at the moment. Max Michael, nice and big, wonderful. Yes, I got some really nice leaves. They are definitely wonderful indeed. It doesn't take too long, but it is a lot of heat, a lot of heat. So you just, when you come here, you just need to be prepared that you're gonna be in heat for quite a while. So this is my method of burning banana leaves. I don't think I've ever posted a tutorial on my page where I've showcased how I got my banana leaves for pastel to get soft to be able to fold. So here is your tutorial. And I tend to typically use very green leaves, the leaves that do have brown parts or dry parts. When you apply the heat to it, it tends to burn the rest of the leaves. So I tend to stay away from those type of leaves when I'm making pastel. It can tear very easily. It can tear really very easily. Y'all are not gonna see me cooking today because I did cook already and I do have food in the fridge, so today is not a meal prep day. I will have to cook tomorrow, I'm supposing. Most I will, but I'm not sure what the menu is gonna be like yet. Nice. Alrighty then. I have another long piece here. You could see that steam and heat coming up from the leaves. And you all are seeing how the leaves are changing color. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, my leaf burnt. My leaf did burn. So if you apply too much heat to your leaves, this is what happens. So you do want to tend to move it around so that the heat or the fire isn't too much for it and it burns or crisps your leaves. Right? So you do want to tend to move it around a bit. Oh. Be careful with your hands. You can get burnt very badly because we are over an open flame. We are over an open flame. So, alright. And for those of you all who are tuned in, if you all have not yet subscribed to my page and you all like this type of content with me showing how I'm cooking, how I'm using my utensils, how I get my stuff to make different meals and do different things within my home, then hit that subscribe button. Nice. I just have one little piece here. I like to make sure all the areas are fully softened. Nice. Look at that. I love when it turns this light green color here. Oops. I almost got burnt. All right. I am seeing 9 persons on. Who are these 9 people? Let me know in the comments down below who you are. Shout you all out. Thank you all personally for tuning in to my live and being here with me. I really like engaging with you all. Nice. You could literally see how the leaves are just kind of coiling up and getting much softer. So I could probably do little fun facts about me that people may or may not know, especially if you are new to my page. Well, my name is Cherise. My name is officially Cherise Laborde because I got married in November. So you will still see Cherise Ogis on my page, but my name is Cherise Laborde. I have a wonderful husband. Yes, Amanda, those are banana leaves that I am burning. I have 2 beautiful children, a boy and a girl, and I do have another baby on the way. We are 7 months in, about to be 7 months in, so I do have another baby coming. You gotta be careful just now. Right? You want a snack? 1 second, guys. Let me just open a snack here for my daughter. Thank you, Amanda. And so I'm not only a mother, but as my profession, I do hair and I do makeup. So I do professional hair and makeup, and I've been doing it for the last 10 years. Makeup, that is 10 years, and the hair was for 5 years, where I do braids and I really take care of your natural hair. I do have a separate page where I post a lot of my makeup content, my hair content, my clients, my processes. The name of that page is Vivid Beauty Hair and Makeup. I do have 5 siblings. I am the oldest of those 5 siblings. I am from Trinidad. For some of you who may not know, I am from Trinidad, which is in the Caribbean. So I'm a Caribbean island girl. Alright. Nice. I also have a degree. I also have my degree in sports studies, where I would have specialized in sport science and sport for development. So these are just some facts about me that you all may or may not have known, for those of you who don't know me personally and just follow me on social media. I did graduate from university, how long ago? 5 years ago. But I am, however, a stay-at-home mom. My business I work from, my studio is located at home. So I have my clients, they come to me. I also offer house calls to my clients, for those of them that are interested in that type of service. So you don't necessarily always have to come to me, depending on the service. I do offer house calls. Excuse me. My children are 2. My daughter is 2, and my son is 7. He will be 8 years old next month. So I have my hands full. My husband and I have been together for the past 9 years, and we got married last year in November, a day after my birthday. For those of you who have not seen the trailer and also the full version of my wedding, it's on my page, so y'all can check that out. I did have a weekday wedding, so my wedding was on a Friday, and we strategically placed it like that to invite our very close family and friends, and those of them that would love us would definitely show up for us, and those people definitely did show up and show out themselves. It was not a very big wedding, it was a very small and intimate wedding, but we had a ball. So you all can check out that video or those videos, because it's actually 2 videos that are on my page. The trailer for our wedding, and then there's the full-length version with the speeches and us dancing, cutting cake and whatnot. My husband and I, we did majority of the planning. We didn't have a wedding planner. We did a lot of the planning ourselves, with the help of his family, my family. We did a lot of the decorating and putting together of the venue ourselves. So like I said, it was a very intimate, small and budget-friendly wedding. For those of you who would have seen the video, my dress was not from any very big bridal boutique. I actually purchased my dress on Fashion Nova, and I got it on sale for $50 US. So with clearing and everything worked up to be like $700 for my dress, and I loved it. I absolutely love it. I'm a very simple girl, so things that I do as my hobby. I'm currently sewing as my hobby, so I sew head wraps. I am sewing bonnets. That is some of the things that I do sew currently. I do have to come and post a tutorial for you all, or I might just probably do a live with me sewing a bonnet, to show you all the process that I use. Some of my hair wraps are also up for sale for those who are located in Trinidad. They range from $30 all the way, $30 TT, that is, all the way up to sometimes $50. All right. Alright guys, so I'm almost finished wrapping up with these leaves here. I just have a few more to do, and like these parts here that are ripping, I tend to just rip it out and throw it out, because when I am folding it tends to break off, and I don't really like that. So beforehand, if I see a strip or a tear in it, I sort of just tear it one time, which makes it easier for me. This is gonna be my last one. So thank you all so very much for tuning in. I know it wasn't a very long live where I'm cooking and I'm there with you all, but it was so nice being here for the time that we did spend. I appreciate you all keeping me company during this live and while I burn these banana leaves. I hope you all tune in again when I go live making that pastelle. Alright, so for those of you who aren't subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so that when I go live again, y'all could be there with me. These are, my daughter has my cupboard open. These are the leaves that we just burnt there that I am going to use to make pastelle possibly on Sunday. Like I mentioned earlier, I tend to burn them beforehand, which makes it a lot easier when it's time to prepare my pastelle. I don't get overwhelmed during the process because like I mentioned, I am pregnant, so I sort of tend to break up my processes into stages of what I could actually manage. So it was nice having you all here with me. So I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.